Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another video, another trade video specifically. Some of you guys, after I made the past two Pacers videos, wanted me to do a trade for Mikal Bridges. Now, I'm just gonna say this, a trade for Mikal Bridges is very hard. It's not impossible, but I don't really love what the Pacers would have to give up in order to get Mikal Bridges, but a couple people requested it, so I'm going to do one anyway. This is just what I would think it would take to land a player of Mikal Bridges' caliber. Mikal Bridges is 27 years old, so at some point, the Nets are going to have to trade him. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the guys on their roster simply don't fit their timeline. Spencer Dinwiddie is one of them. Mikal Bridges is another one. Ben Simmons is another one. Like, they've got a lot of guys on their roster, but the fact of the matter is a lot of those guys probably are not going to be there in the next 1 to 2 years. Like, the Brooklyn Nets are officially at a point where they're probably at least going to start listening to offers on Mikal Bridges. If not this year, definitely in the next year or two. It's less than 5 years, I do know that. I would figure in the next year or two, like once he turns 28, they'll start fielding calls on him. But let's just say we're the Pacers here and we're being aggressive. We're trying to get better. And we decide we want to trade for Mikal Bridges at the trade deadline. So obviously the first team here would have to be the Indiana Pacers. The second team here would have to be the Brooklyn Nets. And the third team in this, because I feel like this is the only team that works, is the New York Knicks. Now, before I start moving players, I just want to say this disclaimer. This is a trade I don't necessarily agree with. I think there is way more negatives to this than there is positives, for multiple reasons, of which I'll state at the end of the trade. But I think they're going to be pretty glaringly obvious to most people. But I will list them at the end of this trade because I feel like a lot of people are going to look at this, and as soon as they see, one guy go to another team, they're going to be like, we're not going to fucking do that. Because that's the way people are on the fucking internet these days. Even if you're just putting something out there just to say, like, this is what I would do. You got your people out there who want to be like, to be fair, I'm being an armchair GM, but a lot of people out there like to be armchair GMs without even really bothering to look up anybody's stats or bothering to look up their contracts and shit like that. So, I kind of take what people say to me with a grain of salt, because it's just the idea, like, some people say shit that they simply, it's like, wow, you didn't even look that up before you said that. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Obviously Mikal Bridges would be going to the Pacers. That's the main guy, and we would be getting Daquan Jeffries from the Knicks, because we're going to be giving up a shooting guard. So actually, did I send him to the Nets? I want to send him to the Pacers. There we go. I don't know why I said the Knicks, but so that's what the Pacers would be getting: Mikal Bridges and Daquan Jeffries. Now, the good thing about this trade is we end up getting rid of Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield goes to the Knicks. Benedict Mathurin's going to have to go to the Nets. I feel like that's the only way this trade happens, is if Benedict Mathurin is included in it, which is one of the many reasons I don't agree with this trade, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Royce O'Neal's going to the Knicks. Let's put this up here. Evan Fournier is going to go to the Nets. Emmanuel Quickley is going to go to the Nets. And the Pacers are going to get rid of their 2024 first-round pick. It's going to be a late first-round pick anyway. We're going to send that to the Nets. And the New York Knicks are going to send their 2024 first-round pick via Detroit to the Nets, because it is lottery protected 1 through 18, so it's going to be an early 20s. And if we try this trade out, this trade works. So I guess I'll go through this. First of all, I don't like this trade at all. I don't think this trade is really super favorable, just because all the teams are Eastern Conference teams. Obviously, the Nets, this is a situation where the Nets would be tanking, and the Knicks would be looking to get better, but the Knicks would be looking to get better while also making the Pacers better in retrospect. To be fair, I think the Knicks get significantly better than the Pacers get in this particular situation because the Knicks don't absolutely blow absolute horse shit on defense, and the Pacers do. But this is a trade that it's like if the Nets were rebuilding, and decided to go that route, which they're going to have to at some point, Benedict Mathurin and Emmanuel Quickley is not bad return for Mikal Bridges, and considering the idea that the Nets don't have a single pick in 2024 in this upcoming draft, giving them 2 first-round picks included with that is a nice haul for Mikal Bridges, even though he's a guy that some people would warrant, or some people would argue would maybe warrant more or maybe warrant less. Regardless, I kind of feel like that's one of the best offers you could get if you're the Nets for a guy like Mikal Bridges. Now, obviously, I don't like this because we'd have to give up Benedict Mathurin, and I feel like in year 3, Benedict Mathurin is really going to take a significant leap forward. As well as I really don't know where the Knicks are on Emmanuel Quickley. Emmanuel Quickley has been good. He's had his moments here and there, but I don't know if the Knicks are absolutely in love with Emmanuel Quickley. They do have 7 picks in this upcoming draft, so it's very possible that they just draft another point guard and let Emmanuel Quickley go in this trade if it means they get Royce O'Neal and Buddy Hield, which the Knicks do need more shooting. Evan Fournier is a guy who hasn't gotten any burn. I think he's been injured this whole time, but he doesn't have an injury designation on Basketball Reference. So I don't know if he's just simply injured or if he's not playing because he doesn't play defense. And being that Tom Thibodeau doesn't like to play guys who don't play defense, I kind of feel like that's the reason Evan Fournier is not seeing minutes. However, Buddy Hield doesn't play fucking defense. But I will say this, Buddy Hield is a significantly better shooter than Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier is. So, maybe Buddy Hield would see some playtime over on the Knicks. Royce O'Neal's a really good 3-and-D guy. He's older, but he's still resilient. I think he fits a lot of what the Knicks are trying to do. He'd be a solid bench player for them. And Buddy Hield, I think, would be like an ideal 6th man for them. Dante DiVincenzo has been okay. He hasn't really been great. And Evan Fournier is a guy they've been trying to get off of for a long time. And adding Buddy Hield to their team, I think, helps a lot. Buddy Hield's a guy that I think could give them that 3-point burst that they're really looking for on the wing. So that's why I think the Knicks would really enjoy this. And if you're the Pacers, right, like that's like the one benefit to this. Like I'm kind of going over the benefits at this point. The benefits for the Pacers is you get Mikal Bridges potentially cheaper than what you would pay Benedict Mathurin. Mikal Bridges has a very, very attractive contract for how good he is. He's still got 3 years left on that deal. Granted, Benedict Mathurin still has 3 years left on his deal, but Benedict Mathurin, if he fucking explodes over the next 2 years or whatever, you can bet your ass the Pacers are going to have to break out $100 million for him. And you know what? From a Pacers fan standpoint, I'm at a point now where I'm kind of buying into Benedict Mathurin. Like in the beginning of the year, I was like, well, Benedict Mathurin looks like the same player. The one thing I like about Benedict Mathurin is he's really young, but he's not afraid of the big moments. Neither is Mikal Bridges, but Mikal Bridges is 27, Benedict Mathurin is 21, and Benedict Mathurin's a guy who still has a lot of room to grow, right? Like we kind of know what Mikal Bridges is at this point. Benedict Mathurin is 21. He rises in big moments, especially in games where it's like Tyrese Halliburton's not going to play. Benedict Mathurin has had some games like that where he takes over. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main reason I don't like including Benedict Mathurin in this trade. And plus, if you're the Nets and you look at their roster, they got Cam Thomas, they have Cam Johnson. Giving them Benedict Mathurin and Emmanuel Quickley gives them a really, really nice base around that, including they still have Day'Ron Sharpe, they still have Nick Claxton. They would officially be like an up-and-coming team at this point. So while I do think this trade in a way is not horrible, it's a trade that I understand why Pacers fans wouldn't like it. Anytime you include Benedict Mathurin in a trade, everybody thinks you're trying to get rid of him. But the fact of the matter is, like, if you want a guy like Mikal Bridges, Benedict Mathurin's got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there's a world in which the Nets trade us Mikal Bridges without giving up Benedict Mathurin. And as a Pacers fan, that's not a deal that I'm willing to make at this point anymore. I just feel like Benedict Mathurin's going to become very good. But if there were a trade for Mikal Bridges that might get accepted if, like, for whatever reason, the Pacers just decided Benedict Mathurin wasn't their guy anymore and they're not willing to wait for Benedict Mathurin. This is a trade that I think would definitely go through, at least from the Nets standpoint, and maybe even the Knicks. You know, the Pacers aren't great on defense. The Knicks, I think, are a better basketball team than the Pacers, and I can't believe I'm saying that as a Pacers fan with the Knicks being our rival, but the Knicks play some type of defense. The Pacers don't play defense at all, and if you're the Nets, getting those two 2024 first-round picks as well is nice. I mean, like, that's really setting you up for a nice base, considering also the idea of how many draft picks the Nets already have on top of what we'd be giving them. Like, the Nets would be like the new Oklahoma City Thunder. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would, like, and that's not a stretch to say. You know, if I hit a just trade here at the bottom and we go to draft picks for the New Jersey or the Brooklyn Nets, they've got picks for 2025, 2026. They got 3 first rounders in 2027. You know, 2020. Like they own draft picks for the next fucking, you know, decade almost. You know what I'm saying, or at least the next 6 years. You know, in 2029 they got 2 first round picks. Actually, they got 3 first round picks in 2029 and 3 first round picks in 2027. They have a first round pick in 2025 and giving them 2 first round picks in 2024, you're looking at a team that would legitimately be like the next Oklahoma City Thunder just in the East. And I think the Nets could put something nice around Emmanuel Quickley, Benedict Mathurin with all the draft picks they got. They still have Nick Claxton. They still have Cam Thomas. If they were to trade Mikal Bridges, this is the trade that I think would go through. So, or at least a trade the Nets I think would accept. So, anyway, guys, tell me what you guys think about this as well. Just for clarification as well, that 2024 first rounder via the Detroit Pistons from the Knicks is not the Wizards pick, because the Wizards pick is actually like capable of being in the lottery. That Detroit Pistons pick is not. It's a like early 20s pick, maybe the 19th pick in the draft, just outside the lottery. And the first round pick that we would be sending them for Mikal Bridges is a late first rounder. So figure you're giving up a late first rounder and Benedict Mathurin and Buddy Hield to bring in Mikal Bridges, who is a bona fide 20-point per game scorer, one of the best defenders in the league, and he's 27 years old on a bargain contract. He's a guy that simply doesn't break the bank, and the cool part about it is also, like, if the Pacers were to trade for Mikal Bridges, his salary is so low that you might actually be able to drag in like a star player at the center position to help out with that. So this is the trade. This is the most realistic trade I think there is for Mikal Bridges ending up on the Pacers. And, you know, like I said, I don't love it, you know what I'm saying? But I just think if there were a trade to go through, this would be it. So, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.